Hello everyone, and this is my BR poster. My topic is the optimal entry mode of global expansion, a case study of Bafang. And the reason why I study on this topic is because that according to the Ministry of Economic Affairs (ROC), the growth rate of income of the restaurant industry fell from 8.42% in 2016 to minus 6.22% in 2021. The drop not only can be attributed to the impact of pandemic, but also indicates the limited growth of the restaurant market in Taiwan. And furthermore, the Taiwan Chain Store and Franchise Association points out that the number of restaurant brands in Taiwan decreases while the number of restaurants increases. And all of these facts represent that the market is aggressively competitive and already oversaturated. Therefore, more and more restaurant chains set target to expand globally, and Bafang is one of them. So first in my report, I analyzed the value chain of Bafang because it is important to determine the company's competitive advantages before making any entry strategy. And competitive advantages come from the company's value chain. And so I identified the competitive advantage of Bafang. They has like business model standardization, economy of scale, and zero inventory. And second, I analyze which entry modes can maximize the benefit for Bafang by considering four boundary conditions, which are the value chain, the initial investment and operation cost, market share, and the potential risk. And entry modes the paper discussed include export, licensing, franchising, and MMA. And the analysis framework is referred to a book called Developing International Strategies. So after the analysis of entry mode that Bafang can possibly use, I draw the conclusion that the optimal entry mode for Bafang is franchising, and it's due to three main reasons. First, it allows Bafang to maximize its competitive advantages from the value chain. And second, franchising requires less cost to start and operate business, which enable Bafang to establish and enhance the strong business recognition rapidly. And last one is franchising is a financially less risky option to start a business in a new market. And you might wonder that what's the difference between Bafang and Din Tai Fung. So I conduct the comparison with Din Tai Fung. Din Tai Fung is undoubtedly one of the most successful restaurant chains in global expansion, and I found that Din Tai Fung chooses to expand its overseas business by brand licensing. And it's because Din Tai Fung has a really strong brand recognition, which is often regarded as high quality products and 5-star service. It can maintain the relationship with its licensees with the core value of the brand and give them a greater degree of freedom. In contrast, the franchising emphasizes an unified and standardized business model, and Bafang exactly develops its competitive advantages by standardized business model. Therefore, franchising is a more optimal entry mode for it. Also, when it comes to the threat of Din Tai Fung as a strong competitor, the paper refers to the fact that the price of xiaolongbao is much higher than the dumplings Bafang serves. Thus, so that is the two companies has a different customer base. Thus, Bafang can arbitrage by targeting customers that have interest in Chinese cuisine but are constrained by the budget. So my conclusion is I suggest that Bafang expand the business in the U.S. market by franchising, and the American consumers' acknowledgement of Chinese cuisine built by Din Tai Fung can be a large benefit to Bafang's expansion. Okay, so that's my report. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. Yeah, I think so. Here, Amy is trying to present a very interesting case. I think the brand has become a kind of culinary household name. So I believe that most of you are no stranger to its own products. So again, can we start with any questions or comments? Feel free to speak. You just need to turn the mic.
Hello, I'm Justin.
Yes.
And in Taiwanese stock market, the Bafang number is 2753, and I was wondering if you have faith in their stock price, or do you hold optimistic or negative attitude toward their stock?
I actually do not focus on their stocks, but I observe their revenue, like income profit, something like that. And compared to other restaurants in Taiwan, which has encountered a serious loss by the pandemic, Bafang actually has really good growth on their revenue, and I think it's because that keeps developing new brands such as Liang Han Pai Gu and something like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Justin. Yeah, I think it's another really good question. Okay, then we move on to Andrea.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and I would like to ask that what do you think the advantage that Bafang has when it expands globally? Like, is it its product or other advantages, like they have many different brands in this group? Thank you.
Actually, Bafang has expanded its chain stores mainly in Asian market like Hong Kong or China. So their advantage in Asian market is that everyone has similar taste, and Bafang is really good at producing products that has consistent quality. And in U.S. market, I think their advantage is that American really has interest in Chinese cuisine, and their acknowledge is like developed by Din Tai Fung. So I think that Bafang can arbitrage from the situation and by selling cheaper dumplings to the consumer in America.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea, for the question. Yeah, I think this is another maybe key question you can try to discuss in the BR. I think that maybe I would like to also ask about maybe a possible challenge. I think we know. So this brand, I think it's actually quite famous for hiring middle-aged business owners, right? Especially people. I mean, according to their story, people, for example, who have lost their jobs, right, and who are seeking a second opportunity in their career. But I wonder if Bafang can still replicate this kind of personnel culture as they try to expand to some different markets, like North American markets.
Okay. And now, the fact that they hire people in middle age and have some challenge in Taiwan, and I actually do not research whether it can hire the same kind of people in America. So maybe I will go into it and make some research.
Yeah, I think this can be maybe one of the hurdles they will try to cross over. I think also compare with Din Tai Fung. I think Din Tai Fung doesn't really go public, right? I think Din Tai Fung relies on private venture. But now because Bafang is a public traded company, so do you think that it can still maintain its own financial advantage over Din Tai Fung in expansion?
I think that I think I think 八方云集 can you please say again your questions?
I think I'm just saying that I think in terms of funding, I think Bafang and Din Tai Fung, I think they have very different styles, right? Because Din Tai Fung is mainly a private business, right? It doesn't go public. But I think now Bafang, I think the company has turned public, but I think this may somehow also weaken its own funding power, I guess.
Yes, like Bafang in USA, they had collaborate with another partner, and they found a joint venture. So this might be one of Bafang's advantage that it can cooperate with other companies, but for Din Tai Fung, it may be harder for them to do so. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for pointing this out. Very good. So do you have any further questions or comments? If you would like to speak, you just need to turn the mic because I may not see your hand. All right. So if you want to speak, just speak.
Hi, Amy. This is Grace. So
yes.
I'm just wondering that in the report you've pointed out that Din Tai Fung kind of sparked U.S. consumers' interest in Chinese cuisine. And I was just wondering, do you think it's purely just about the product, or it's more about the service, the atmosphere, and the overall brand image? Because I believe that there is also a lot of Chinese cuisine stores already present in the United States. So if Bafang Yunji would like to enter, I was wondering how should they position themselves to kind of differentiate them from the other Chinese cuisine restaurants? Thank you.
I think that you point out the fact that Din Tai Fung is not only famous for its delicious cuisine, but also their service. And I think that because Bafang Yunji is also known for its consistency in product quality, so I think they can utilize this advantage, to to make differences with other Chinese cuisine, Chinese restaurant in USA, since they are chain restaurant, but other may be founded individually. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's not really thought-provoking question. I think I saw another hand. So, Alan, you have a question or comment?
And my question is similar to Grace.
Let's see. Okay. But thank you. Okay, I think it's good that we have now more questions and comments. All right, so I think then we need to move on to our next presenter. So let's give Amy a really big hand. Thank you very much. Okay, so after